Once in a small village nestled between lush green hills, there lived a young girl named Mia. Mia was known for her bright smile and curious nature. She loved to explore, but there was one thing she wanted more than anything else in the world: to climb the tallest mountain that stood proudly at the edge of the village. The mountain was always covered in mist, and it seemed to touch the sky. Many villagers spoke of its beauty and how breathtaking the view was from the top. However, they also spoke of the dangers that came with climbing. The path was steep, rocky, and sometimes hard to see. Some villagers tried to climb, but few made it to the top. This only fueled Mia's desire to succeed. One sunny morning, Mia decided it was time to take the first step toward her dream. She gathered her small backpack, filled it with a water bottle and some snacks, and set off toward the mountain. As she walked, she thought of how proud she would be when she reached the top. But deep down, she felt nervous. When she arrived at the base of the mountain, she saw her friend Oliver sitting on a rock. Oliver was a smart boy who loved to read about adventures, and he often shared stories with Mia. "Mia, are you really going to climb that mountain?" Oliver asked, looking up at her with wide eyes. "Yes, I want to see the view from the top," Mia replied, her eyes sparkling with determination. "But what if it's too hard? What if you get scared?" he questioned. Mia smiled. "I will take it one step at a time. I believe I can do it." Oliver thought for a moment. He admired Mia's courage, but he couldn't help but worry. "Can I come with you? I can help you if things get tough." Mia nodded. She was glad to have his support. "Let's do this together." The two friends began their ascent. At first, the path was wide and easy to walk. They laughed and chatted as they climbed, eager to reach the top. But soon, the trail became steep, and the rocks were slippery. Mia stumbled, and Oliver quickly reached out a hand to help her. "Take your time, Mia. We can rest here if you need to," he said, pulling her up. Mia took a deep breath. "You're right. Let's sit for a moment." They found a flat rock to rest on and took out their snacks. As they munched on their food, Mia looked around. The view was already beautiful, with the village below like a patchwork quilt of colors. "This is amazing!" she exclaimed. After a short break, they decided to continue. With each step, the climb grew more difficult. The path narrowed, and there were times when they had to pull themselves up using their hands. Mia felt her legs ache, and doubt crept into her mind. "Oliver, what if we can't do it? What if we have to turn back?" she asked, feeling a bit defeated. Oliver took a moment to think. "Remember what you said, Mia. One step at a time. We just need to keep moving forward. You are stronger than you think." Mia smiled at his encouragement. She took a deep breath and nodded. "You're right. One step at a time." They continued their climb, focusing on their steps rather than the distance left to the top. They laughed at silly things and shared stories about their favorite adventures. Slowly but surely, they were making progress. As they climbed higher, the rocks became sharper and more challenging. They had to be careful with each step. Mia felt her heart pounding with both excitement and fear. Suddenly, dark clouds began to gather above. The wind picked up, and it seemed like a storm was approaching. "Mia, we should think about turning back," Oliver yelled over the wind. Mia looked up at the sky and then back at the path ahead. She felt a spark of determination. "No, we've come this far. Let's keep going. The view will be worth it." They pressed on, their steps careful and slow. The rain began to fall, and the rocks became slick. Mia slipped again, but this time Oliver caught her just in time. "Be careful," he said, concern in his voice. "Thank you for always being here," she replied, catching her breath. "I won't give up. I promise." With renewed determination, they continued. The rain fell harder, and their clothes became soaked. Just when they thought they couldn't go on, they reached a flat area. They both stopped, breathing heavily. "It looks like we're almost there," Oliver said, pointing upward where the peak was peeking through the clouds. With a surge of energy, Mia and Oliver pushed on. The last few steps felt like a battle against the elements. Finally, they scaled the final rock and pulled themselves up onto the summit. The moment they reached the top, all their worries melted away. The clouds began to part, and a brilliant sunbeam broke through, shining down on them. Mia looked around and gasped. The view was more magnificent than she had ever imagined. The village was tiny below, and the hills rolled endlessly into the horizon. The beauty of the world,